We be fussing, we be screaming, but you the one I wanna lay beside this evening. I'm gonna come back even when I'm leaving. You give good love and I receive it. When you feeling down, I'ma sing to you. That ring on your finger got a ring to it. That's that real love, God-fearing love.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is your favorite marriage podcast, Make Marriage Great Again. I just need to know, did y'all go subscribe? Did y'all like? Did y'all repost? Did y'all share? And did you go to the store, Make Marriage Great Again, .love, to purchase all of the things?
Yeah.
It's still chilly outside. We're still wearing sweats. And there's t-shirts on there too. Take your pick. Last episode, we were talking about code switching. It was so good. We had to switch it and bring it over here.
Yeah.
And there were some good things talked about off camera about just maybe the difference between code switching and wisdom, which we've talked about it. And we talk about a lot in the workplace. So, and we're entrepreneurs. We don't necessarily have a lot of workplace code switching, but we pastor. Mm-hmm. And we have kids who are in sports, and we have a podcast, and we have other business endeavors. So I want to maybe deep dive into life code switching. Like, are there areas in our lives where we have found ourselves
behaving
differently? I'm gonna give you an example. The other day, we moved. We live in I can't even say predominantly white. It's not. It's pretty mixed where we live. But I went to Aldi the other morning. Love Aldi. Great fruit, great vegetables, great prices. And I went early in the morning. And I was fly that day because I think I had to do some content or whatever. And I walk in. This white lady walks in. Another white lady walks in. I'm stopping at the strawberries and stuff, buying some stuff. And the cashier is just staring at me. Older white lady cashier. Now, remind you, I'm not the only, it's only like 3 or 4 of us in the store because it's early morning. And the white ladies have gone on, but she's like staring at me. So you know what I do?
What?
I stare at her back. And I say, good morning. And she's like, oh, good morning. Do you need help with anything? I said, no. Everything's right here that
Pretty
I need.
self-explanatory.
It's pretty good. And so I'm moving out throughout the store. More people are coming in and shopping. Predominantly white people are coming to shop or whatever. And I think I probably was listening to maybe Jay-Z or something in my headbuds. I don't know. So I'm shopping. I got my earbuds in. And I'm looking at people, and I'm probably dressed with, pretty culturally correct. I'm dressed pretty dope. And I'm watching them look at me almost like,
why are you in here?
Why are you in this grocery store?
Huh. You felt like they thought you belonged
at the one on East Main Street.
Elsewhere. Yeah.
And so I'm in there shopping, and I on purpose, I think I might have rapped a couple lyrics on purpose. Out loud. Just to let them know I am going to spend my green money, or actually it was the American Express, and I'm going to spend it in this store, and I'm going to dress this way, and I'm going to listen to Jay-Z, and you're not going to change culturally who I am just because I'm in a predominantly white area or in a white grocery store. So that's what I mean by code switching, because there was a point in my life, because I was in the workforce and I had nothing but white bosses, and they were all male, and I had to code switch, and I hated it. And the reason why I did it was so I wouldn't be the angry black woman.
Well, I think like in the instance at the grocery store, I don't think you had really anything to lose. So when you think about code switching, I think it's one thing to feel like you have something to gain.
Yeah.
But it's another thing when you maybe come into the realization that you could potentially have something to lose. And so I feel like in the grocery store setting, I don't feel like you felt as if you had anything to lose.
But when I did, which was my job,
but when it was your job, and you could potentially lose your salary, lose an opportunity, lose, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like maybe you felt compelled to do whatever you needed to do with, you know what I mean, so that you didn't lose anything.
I remember one time my boss said something about my braids. He sure did. He said something about my braids, and he made like a joke about something. I was thugging or something because I had like some cornrows, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. This guy on the East Coast, but and it was just in that moment I was like, oh my God, he is talking about my cornrows are fresh. I mean, like they were weave and it was long and baby hair is laid, and he said something about me thugging.
Yeah. And so I think like, you know, maybe in that moment you felt like, okay, it might not be the best of ideas to go in and pop off right now.
See, but that's my problem. When is it?
Well, no, it's not a matter of when. It's a matter of how. Because I feel like there's always a way to go about it.
Let somebody know that they were wrong.
It's almost like, you know, if my black sons get pulled over by the police and they feel like they're being wrongfully handled, I teach them
survive the
encounter, come home, and if the situation deems necessary, we'll take whatever, you know, measures need to be taken in order to handle it. And so I feel like, you know what I mean, like they didn't need the code switch right then, but there was a way that they could handle it. I'm talking about straight up behaving in a certain way, adjusting language, adjusting behavior, because you feel like you're getting ready to lose out, man.
Nah, I think with the cops, bro, I think it's a complete code switch. When as a black man, as a black woman, when if I get pulled over, my response isn't no. My response is yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you feel like that's code switching, that's not wisdom.
It's wisdom. It's wisdom to code switch in that moment. It's wisdom. I mean, because you read the definition. I mean,
I'm talking about you're going for something, and you know
you're going for life. You're trying to survive.
And I'm talking about at a job, and you know that in order for you to have a chance, you're going to need to present yourself in this specific kind of way that is really for real contrary to how you would normally do.
So do you, when you talk about Colin Kaepernick, then is it your opinion that Colin should have just minded his own business and went on ahead and played football?
I mean, I know some guys that were in the league that you know, had caught wind that Colin had kind of turned over a new leaf. This is before he started kneeling.
Yeah.
You know, like the year before. Mm-hmm. You know, he was he kind of came into his blackness. He kind of start realizing some things and start coming into the knowledge of some things and some truth and all of that. And then it ended up turning into him saying, I'm going to kneel from now on, because after everything that I've come into the realization of, I have to do something to show that I'm not okay with the madness. And so, am I saying I feel like he should have minded his own business? I don't. That was his choice. That's how he felt like he needed to.
He lost everything.
Well, I mean, he got money.
I mean, yeah,
like $20 million from sports. You know what I'm saying?
And Nike. And,
yeah. I mean, from Nike. So I mean, he got money. But do I feel like if he would have not did that, would he have kept his job? Clearly.
100%.
Clearly.
So when is it? If I hear what you're saying correctly, you're almost saying when it comes to survival, when it comes to making sure that you're able to, you know, support your family,
continuing to be a part of something, being accepted.
If Bob is saying cut your dreads, cut your locks.
So I don't know if that's code. I see. That's the thing. I think, you know, like, I'm sure there are some experts on this whole code switching piece. I feel like that is discriminatory. Like, I don't feel like that's cool.
What about changing your dress? Hey, Julius, you know, we love to have you here, but, you know, you were wearing some, you know, your sweatshirts, you know, it says the, you know, black excellence and black love, you know, they're a little, you know, to the people that are here that are not black, it's a little offensive.
I think if it's somewhere in the handbook written that I need to not do that, and I feel like in that instance, then if I'm trying to keep my job.
So the term sellout, like, because of what that means nobody's a sellout. That means because now it's like
I do think there are absolutely some sellouts. This is a tough subject, man. This is a tough subject.
Because how is somebody a sellout if it's survival of the fittest? It's self-preservation. I'm taking care of me and mine.
I think there's a way to there's a way to fight it. I think there's a way to fight
what's
it.
What's your definition of a sellout?
I don't. It's so many words that come to my mind right now. I don't even want to try to define that with my own language right now.
We were talking about President Obama before we started shooting again, and David had asked how did I feel about Obama? Did I feel like Obama code switched? And I told him no, I didn't think. I thought Obama did a great job at always staying
being who he
culturally.
was.
Yes. And the thing about politicians is what I love about politics is that they're allowed to address issues and not people. Now, if a certain sect of people gets affected by most of these issues, then you could say, what they're leaning more towards one than the other. But I feel like he talked about issues, and because those issues that he spoke about affected probably more African Americans, he was probably received with open arms by the African American community, and he was African American. I feel like he has a black wife, he has black children, he loves black music, and he never stopped that on his campaign. He never stopped like that. That's who he is. Even to this day, he puts out his playlist, and his playlist is like all hip hop, R&B. I mean, he's black, and I think that's kind of where my issue is. And I know the waters get a little muddy. Is I get it, the whole you wanting to advance, but you're black in black rooms, and you're non-black in white rooms. I think that's kind of where I'm like.
So you in your mind, code switching is not really being black.
They turn it down.
They tone it down.
Yeah.
In order to advance. I don't know if that's code. I think that's a sellout.
Okay.
I think that's a sellout.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a sellout. I don't know if code switching and toning down your blackness,
they're the same thing.
Or I don't know if they're the same thing.
They are because code switching. What does it do? It affects your language, your dress. What else?
Adjusting one's style of speech.
Adjusting your style of speech, the way you look, the way you act,
expression in ways that will optimize the comfort of others in exchange for fair treatment.
Same thing.
So
black
in
people,
your mind,
we are loud when we laugh. So I get into a room full of people that don't look like me, and David cracks a joke, and I'm like, ah!
So in your mind, code switching and toning down your blackness are one and the same.
Are they synonymous? I believe they are. Turning down my blackness to make you comfortable.
That's code switching.
What do you think it is?
I'm trying for it not to be. Like literally, like I'm trying to figure out the language for that not to have to be the case. I do see exactly what you're saying. And it's making sense to me now, but I'm doing my very best to find language
and I get
that
it.
can make a differentiation between toning down blackness and code switching.
I understand what you're saying. Is there wisdom in it? Unfortunately, yes. There's wisdom. And here's my thing. If you're using it to navigate these waters to advance so that you can be Harriet Tubman, then I'm backing you. But if you're using it to navigate these waters just so that you can have a seat at the table in the White House and lock everybody else that look like you out, I got a problem with you.
Well, I think honestly, unfortunately, we don't know a person's motive for code switching for real. We don't know their motive. In a perfect world, that would be why they do it, so that they can provide opportunities for other people to be free as well.
Well, are you going to get into that space, and are you going to recreate the structure, or are you going to try to change the standards? That's what I'm saying.
We don't know, because I think a lot of people would present themselves as if they're doing it so that they can get in a position to open up the door and pull out the chair for others. A lot of people will present themselves as if that's why they're doing it, but then when they get there,
they writing the policies with them like, yeah,
they
we shouldn't
ain't
do
opening
that.
up no doors for nobody. They're not pulling out no chairs for nobody else.
You always say though, you always talk about how powerful language is, and I'm really coming to the realization how powerful language is, the way that I speak or what I say or what filler words that I
when you
use,
say it,
when I say
how
it.
you say it.
I have friends who are very prestigious. I have friends that are in politics. I have friends that are directors and CEOs. I have friends that are attorneys. I have one of my friends who's a dentist. Now she's going to go be an attorney. And what I've learned about my language is that the sharpness of what I say, or the judgmental tone, I can see them. I can see their brains looking at me like, yeah, you would never survive in corporate America. Because I wouldn't.
Because of the way you said it, how you said it. Yes, it's.
They've been trained in language. Mm-hmm. They've been trained in a way, and I don't know if I would say that they code switch. They're just trained. Mm-hmm. And they know how to speak. They know when to speak.
And this, let me say this. I think sometimes people who have not been trained will accuse people who have been trained
of code switching. Yeah.
And it's like, no, you've not been trained on how to navigate. And so because you've not been trained on how to navigate, you're trying to, put it off as if I'm somehow being fake or being phony or being inauthentic. Yeah. And it's like, no, that's not what it is. You don't know how to do it. You mad.
Yeah. And again, I am, if that's the case, if someone is, because I believe that my friends are know how to speak in a way of advancement, but there are some people who are code switching, and then you have sellouts. Yeah, we talked about it. There's levels to this.
So you're saying there's training.
Yeah,
there's
training on navigation,
and then there's straight up sellouts.
Yeah, there's training that I believe needs to happen in an African American community so that African Americans are able to navigate 100%, so that we can be in certain rooms. And let's be clear, there are certain language that unlocks certain doors. I get it. So
there's training, then there's code switching, then there's sellout,
and there might be some other levels. Yeah.
Probably some more levels too, but we know those three things are for sure. And what happens is people who don't understand the levels will accuse someone who's been properly trained as a code switcher or potentially even a sellout. Yeah. Because they've not been trained, so they don't even understand what's happening.
The other day, Zion, I was on the phone with somebody doing something, and Zion was like, "Why are you talking like that?"
So you was code switching.
No.
What was you doing then?
I was probably I'm talking to somebody of importance. No, my language couldn't be how I talk to Zion.
You're using wisdom.
I give you an example. We have a program for youth that we have. The program for youth that we have, we deal with troubled youth.
At risk youth.
They are at risk
of getting in trouble.
Of getting in trouble
Some
again.
of them already in trouble.
And their mothers or their guardians.
Or whoever.
Are black like me. I see their names. I know who I'm talking to. The conversation with Shamika Smith is probably, my language to her is going to be completely different than Lindsay Smith.
Well, because you're relating.
And I think that is wisdom. Right. So again, I don't, because for years it's like, why are you talking white? I'm not talking white. I didn't know enunciating my words was talking white. I am navigating. And I think that I'm not talking about that. Like for me, like navigation is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about code switching.
Yeah. Adjusting your appearance, your behavior.
Deeper than that, I don't even mind that you code switch. If you're code switching to advance so that you can get into the rooms to change the way things are, then my G, I empower you to do it.
But don't do it.
And then lock the door behind you and then start writing policies and procedures to get the rest of us out.
Well, I know a lot of people who might even feel like, just truth be told, maybe even Obama reverse code switched.
he acted one way to get in and then got in like surprise niggas
and didn't do a whole lot for black people. Truth be told, he gave us a lot of hope. I'm very hopeful as a black man. I loved seeing him there. Like, it was unbelievable. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Let my sons know that they can be president.
But in the grand scheme of things, when you're talking about day-to-day functionality and practicality, there are those who have a problem with what didn't necessarily happen for the black race as a result of his election.
Did you, as a black person, and I think this is most black people, we expected him to do more for black people because he was black? That is not how politics work.
Well, wait a minute. We
expected him to do.
Wait a minute. WAMENT. WAYMENT. Wait a minute. When did the industry that you're in change what you should be and do as a black person?
What? Just because you're here's the thing, just because you are a molecular scientist, that doesn't mean that you're only studying the molecules of black people.
No. What I'm saying is you feel like it was an unfair expectation of black people on Barack Obama because he was in politics?
Man, just because a black president is president doesn't mean that black people are going to get special treatment. That's not how this works.
Equal treatment. We're not talking about special treatment. We're talking about equal treatment.
And you thought because he was black that was going to happen.
I'm saying there are those, I'm not putting my personal opinion on here. I'm saying there are those who thought that there was going to be some changes made.
I believe Obama did a whole lot of changes. It just maybe wasn't for African American people. And I think the disappointment was, I'm looking at you and you look like me. And so I'm assuming you're looking out for me.
So what would be the need of?
It's kind of like when you they had the Obama shaking the dude's hand and it was like the white dude was like, hey, and then you see the black dude is like, yeah, what's up? It's like it's this unspoken thing when you see somebody else black and you look in their eyes and they look in your eyes, you discern real quick like, oh yeah, you're not one of me. But let
me tell you something. Let me just look here. If that nigga dapped me up like that, and then he firm, corporate hand shook the white dude, and then dapped me up and gave me the black dap. My nigga, you better be looking out. Don't just be dapping me like that and you ain't gonna look out.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, again, about politics and politicians. It's issue-based. And so you, my love, probably don't fall in the scale of the issues that Obama was fixing because you are not poor economically.
So it's socioeconomically.
Right. And so there's some things that as a black man, you're not affected by certain things of this life.
But I think what happens though, Shantez, is I think you can never unidentify with the plight of us as a whole.
I ain't say he didn't identify because let's be clear.
I'm talking about me, even me. So it might not necessarily affected me because my socioeconomic status might have been a little bit different. But I'm still identifying with those who socioeconomically.
Man, listen, the president can do what he wants, and the reason why I know he can do what he wants because Biden went in there when that Asian lady got knocked upside the head and hit on the sidewalk in New York. He went in and created a whole entire bill to protect Asians.
So that's the point I'm making. So when he got in,
and you were looking for Obama to
do something specific like that, and maybe there was a lot.
He could have made lynching, a hate crime, which he didn't do that.
He could have,
and he didn't.
Yeah.
So I feel you. There are certain things that were specifically for us
that he could have did. That there are people.
And you were looking to him because he was black. You were looking for him to do it.
Why shouldn't I?
I feel that. I feel
just like I'm looking for the person who code switched to ascend the ranks in this company
and look out
to
turn
open
around.
the door for those like me who are qualified to be there. Why wouldn't you?
It's interesting because I've been in situations where I've had the black girl look at me and she hooked me up. She hooked me up. Why? Because I looked like her.
And she understood.
And and it's one of those. She looked at me. I looked at her. And she was like, "I got you." Like you and Should I expect that all the time?
But I know a lot of black people who will look at you and
be like,
they ain't got you.
Nah.
They ain't got you.
They don't.
I know black people who
Is that a sellout?
Who will get rid of you. I know some who will get rid of you, who you had an opportunity with, and who will get rid of you like it ain't nothing and don't care.
Dang. Is that a sellout?
I don't know.
Should that's a great question. Maybe we can put this on like in the edit. Should you as a black person should I be expecting?
Should I be in bondage to giving you advancement just because you're black, even though what you're doing is not worthy of advancement?
No, because the answer is no. But should I, as a black person, if I work at Chipotle and David comes through my line and I'm looking at David and David's looking at me, on the strength of being black, I'm giving him an extra scoop of chicken. I'm not getting into that piece. I'm using Chipotle as an example.
What I'm saying is like, should I give you the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, because the lady at Spirit, my bag was overweight, and she was like, "I got you," and put the sticker on it and send it down the way.
That ain't the benefit of the doubt. That is going against company policy. What I'm talking about is the benefit of the doubt, meaning if you have a chance to rectify a situation with a brother or a sister that look like you, or you could get rid of them. Should you rectify the situation because you have an opportunity, give them the benefit of the doubt?
Yes.
Or should you just automatically get rid of them?
You want to know why you should? Because white people do it every day.
All right.
They give each other the benefit of the doubt every day.
And I agree 100%. But
because they have the power to do it. So you as a black person, when you have the power to do it, you absolutely should be looking out.
And what I'm saying is I've been in situations where black people have not given me the benefit of the doubt when they could have, because they had the power to do it and they decided to cut me off instead of giving me the benefit of the doubt.
And that's wrong.
And I'm saying that's horrible.
Yeah, it's wrong. I'm in total agreement with you.
That's horrible.
Terrible job, people. Terrible job.
Y'all, this was good, man. This was real good, actually.
We kicking off Black History Month. This is real solid. Ooh, I cannot wait. I'm going to wear my Black Power shirt next time.
Yo, you wear your Black Power shirt? I'm wearing my Black Panther shirt.
All right. Help us.
Yo,
please, somebody send help.
So look, Black Excellence. Go get the merch. It's at MakeMarriageGreatAgain.love. We got another one, my famous saying, everybody what? What is it? Everybody loves a good twerk. Yeah, everybody loves a good twerk. Mm-hmm. Go get that. Subscribe on YouTube, Make Marriage Great Again Podcast. Mm-hmm. Follow on Instagram, MMJ Podcast. Mm-hmm. Follow on Facebook, Make Marriage Great Again Podcast. Mm-hmm. Like, subscribe, share.
It's a lot of call to actions.
You do all of the stuff because, listen, we trying to do some things. Yeah. And I don't want to have to code switch in order to do it.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
So we love y'all, man. I want y'all to be blessed.
Y'all the best, man.
Peace.
Peace.